Hello class, welcome to Chapter 16, which is entitled Culture Change in Long-Term Care. I want to tell you we are going to gloss over this discussion. We're not going to go too far in depth because you will be talking about culture change in this class in 1140 and in your social gerontology classes and in our discussion. So we'll kind of be light on this area. Again, the learning objectives for you to look at now and after you've covered the material. Here we're going to talk about the definition of culture change. And the term culture change is used in two separate but closely related ways. The two ways in which culture change is used here are as follows. As it applies to long-term care consumers, particularly nursing home residents, and as it relates to changing organizational or corporate culture in long-term care and other businesses, and its impact on the organization's employees. So when we say what is culture change, what you see here is the definition as we would pick up out of the textbook. So you will be covering this in your readings. The benefits of culture change are listed here. And when we say it improves physical and mental health, it's been proven to reduce depression and behavioral problems, which is extremely helpful and important with all long-term care populations, particularly those with memory loss. We have the staffing benefits that you will cover again in the chapter, and the additional benefits as well, and there will be mentioning more of these. Culture change programs, and these are not all of them inclusively, but when we take a look at them, the Pioneer Network in particular, this started as a grassroots movement, and I would say that almost single-handedly they were responsible for many of the regulatory changes we have seen put into place regarding culture change. The components of culture change are listed here, and we will be going over those um, in the readings as well. Some of the other aspects. Organizational culture is designed as that which is mentioned here. The characteristics of successful organizational culture change, as will be covered in this chapter. When we say respect for all individuals, including employees, residents, and visitors, responsiveness to questions, all of these have been a challenge for the older staff, people who have worked, prior to the OBRA changes, where really residents didn't have a whole lot of rights and we weren't always sharing information with them. So it's been a challenge in implementing along that area. Changing the culture requires a lot of in-services, a lot of understanding for staff and families as well. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. The role of the leader in culture change, we're talking about it here, motivating team members, and some of that motivation comes from the direct training. Be a visible role model. Show that you understand culture change, that you are using it and leading by example, and explaining what is acceptable and what isn't acceptable. And I can remember having challenges in the dementia area of the facility I was with. And one way of involving the caregivers was I had left a camera at the nurses station for all shifts to use if they could anonymously capture an example of something supporting culture change and something not supporting culture change, and we would have a meeting where we would discuss them. We would not identify who this was, but at least we were verbalizing an understanding of the good and bad examples of implementing culture change and demonstrating person-centered care. So here is the summary. I want you to read this over and then again review the learning objectives after you read this chapter. Thank you.